Welcome to Trillium Tarot. For this video, I am going to be flipping through a deck I found on Kickstarter. It's called the Unofficial Vulcan Tarot. So this was obviously put together by a Star Trek fan. And I'm just going to show you in the booklet before I dive in. There's quite a bit of detail about each of the cards in this book. So this is very helpful in picturing the lore. You know, I'm a Star Trek fan, but I'm not as well versed in Star Trek lore as others that I know. So I really appreciate the background behind the symbolism and the imagery in each of these cards. It does have gold edging, which is always a nice touch. So we'll go ahead and get started here. And I know that this is Vulcan script on the side of each of these cards. I have no idea what it means. And you'll see that the wording or the language is different on each of them. So if you really want to dive into the details, you certainly can. As always, please do give the video a thumbs up because it truly does help the channel. And as you are watching, you know, there's a lot to take in on these cards. So as you are watching, if you would like to either speed up or slow down the video, you can do that by clicking on the gear icon within YouTube, whether you're watching on the app or in a web browser. So you can either speed it up or slow it down, depending on your preference. Or pause it entirely and look at some of the details in these cards. I'm noticing that a couple of them, I thought I had separated all of them when they first came to me. But a couple of them, the foil is still sticking, like grabbing the edges a little bit. So I'm making sure that I take my time and I don't double up on throwing cards out here. Center this a little bit more. Moon, the sun, judgment, and the world. All right, so we'll get the major arcanas out of the way and dive into the suit of swords, or lurpas. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's shameful. I should have more knowledge of this. Although I'm not, I enjoy this, but I'm not a super fan who would take the time or have the inspiration to create a deck like this. So I truly do admire when somebody has the ability and the capacity to put together something like this. Page and knight, and queen, followed by king. So next we look at the suit of wands. Oops, card's stuck. We can't have that. 4, 5. I have to remember every once in a while to look up at my screen just to make sure that the cards aren't sliding off the deck and out of the frame. Now that is an awkward burden. I mean, I know the 10 of swords or 10 of wands is carrying burdens, but that is one of the more awkward versions I think I've seen. The knight, queen, and finally the king. So we'll move this out of the way. I can stack up about 2 suits and then I have to move the pile. So now we're looking at the suit of cups, which is represented by lamps in this deck. The 5 and the 6. You know, I could tell when I started this video that I think I have a sneeze coming in and it's really threatening. So I may struggle to get through the rest of this video, or I may sneeze and then just have to start it over. Or I may sneeze and just be a human, like a normal real person, right? Even though it would be recorded for posterity on YouTube. Now we're into pentacles. I like the fact that again, you know, the The basic deck that most people learn first is the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. And this one goes back to, other than once you get past the Star Trek and the Vulcan specific symbolism, it does go back to the basic imagery within the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. So it's easy to follow along once you have that fundamental underneath you. The last card is the King of Pentacles. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please do give it a thumbs up, and I look forward to the next video.